There are moments when a man gets used to the idea that his body no longer responds the way it once did. He feels that his desire has faded, that his firmness is not the same, that the natural energy that used to appear at the start of the day without effort now belongs to the past. But what if what is missing for that strength to return is not something complicated or distant? What if the new beginning lies in something simple, within reach, forgotten at the back of a kitchen drawer or buried in an old memory? Today I want to talk about something real, something that does not involve empty promises or magical formulas, something that works because it respects what your body already knows how to do but needs help to remember. A discreet, natural, and ancient gesture that has been used for generations. Chewing a small spice for just 60 seconds. This simple gesture can activate what your body has been forgetting: circulation, blood flow, testosterone production, the response you have been missing. Not because it is magic, but because it is your body working as it should. And why start with this? Because it is practical. Because it does not require medication or expensive formulas. Because it gives your body the stimulus it needs to open the pathways of the blood, deliver oxygen, activate the right muscles, and restore the confidence that time tried to erase. That is why we are here, to show that yes, there is a first step to reclaim what seemed lost. And this step can begin with what you will discover in the next few minutes. The smart use of a natural resource that, when chewed for a minute, starts to give your body back what is rightfully its own. Before we continue, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on. This helps spread this content to more men like you. And I want to invite you to leave a comment now. Write just one word that sums up what you feel today: disconnection or hope. I will read every comment. Now I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. When did you start to believe that the loss of strength, desire, and firmness was something inevitable? When did the idea that this is normal and part of aging become part of your thoughts? I say this because deep down, almost every man has heard in one way or another that after a certain age, potency fades and that it is natural to accept it. And this idea, repeated so many times, ends up becoming an invisible prison. But I am here to break that idea, to tell the truth that almost no one shares. You are not finished. What you feel today is not a sign that your body has given up, nor that time has defeated you. What is happening is that you are tired. Tired of carrying burdens that no one sees. Tired of trying to handle everything, of keeping the world in order, of being the support for everyone, while inside something is slowly fading. I have heard hundreds of stories like this in my practice. Men who built companies, supported families, overcame crises. Men who faced the world but in the intimacy of their room felt they were no longer the same. Not because their body had failed completely, but because they were exhausted. Exhausted inside, so deeply that their mind no longer knew how to reignite the flame of vitality. This exhaustion is deceptive. It does not warn you. It does not shout. It settles in slowly, in the tired sigh at the end of the day, in the lack of will to take a walk, in the gaze that drifts into emptiness before sleep. And with each day, each restless night, each moment when your body does not respond as before, this exhaustion starts to feel like an end, but it is not, because the body, even when tired, holds a silent memory of what it was like to feel alive, strong, and present, and that memory can be awakened. I want you to remember this now. The vitality, the strength, the confidence that seem to have disappeared are still there, just asleep, waiting for the right moment to awaken. And that moment begins when you choose to look at yourself with compassion, not guilt. Because it was not you who failed. It was the fatigue that built up, the silence that distanced you from yourself. And that silence can be broken. That is what I will show you from now on. When we talk about recovering male vitality, many imagine that it requires long, expensive, or complicated treatments. The truth is very different. The human body, even when tired, responds to simple stimuli, as long as certain essential points are respected: circulation, oxygenation, and hormonal balance. And this is where something most people ignore comes in: the impact of a small gesture that is within the reach of any man, something that does not require medicine or drastic changes. A gesture so simple that it is often underestimated: chewing 2 small cloves for just 60 seconds. The clove, which many people only know as a spice, contains a compound called eugenol. This substance has a mild and natural vasodilator effect, which E means it helps the blood vessels relax, improving blood flow. And why does this matter? Because blood is what carries oxygen and nutrients to the muscles, including those that support intimate response. It is the blood that carries the signal of vitality to the body. And when blood flow improves, the body remembers how to react. Not because it is magic, but because it is physiology. This gesture of chewing the clove, which can be done in silence without anyone needing to know, is a first step. Step to let the body work in favor of its own recovery. There is nothing miraculous about this. It is a practical and natural action, based on knowledge of how the body works. It is not the clove itself that transforms a man. It is the combination, the simple gesture, the decision to care for circulation, and consistency. That is what starts to create the conditions for the body to respond better. And that is what we will talk about next: how the clove works in your body and why it makes a difference. If you want to strengthen your vitality even more, regain confidence in your body, and experience moments of intimacy with more presence and peace, I have prepared a special resource. In my digital book, Rediscovering Intimacy: Healthy Sexuality After 60, you will find practical guidance to help body and mind work together in building a fuller and more satisfying intimate life. The link is in the first pinned comment. Be sure to check it out and take this next step on your journey of recovery and strength. Now that you understand the value of this simple gesture, it is time to look at what really happens in your body when you decide to take this step. The clove contains eugenol, a natural substance that acts as a mild vasodilator. This means it helps the blood vessels relax, creating space for blood to flow more freely. This increase in blood flow is not something you will feel as a sudden explosion. No, it is subtle, but real. And this improvement in flow is what starts to give your body back what it was forgetting: rhythm, response, vitality. Why does this matter? Because without good circulation, blood does not carry oxygen and nutrients in the amount that the muscles need, including the muscles that work directly in the intimate male area. These are the muscles that provide firmness, control, and response in moments when the body needs to show its strength. And there is more. Better circulation also helps stimulate the natural production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a compound that your own body produces to allow blood to reach where it is needed, without blockages and without putting too much strain on the heart. It is like opening the path for energy to flow normally again. There is nothing magical about this process. It is physiology. It is the body responding to what it recognizes as a chance to work better. Chewing the clove activates this cycle naturally and discreetly, without affecting blood pressure like artificial medications and without putting extra strain on the body. Of course, the clove is not a solution on its own. It is part of a set of choices that create the conditions for the body to react. But what surprises many men is that such a small gesture can truly begin this process of recovery. And that is exactly the point. It is about creating the conditions for your body to remember what it always knew how to do. That is what we will explore next. What else, besides blood flow, needs to be in balance for you to feel the difference in practice? So far, we have talked about the body and what it needs to work better. But there is a factor that acts in silence and that many men underestimate. That factor is chronic stress. Stress does not show itself clearly like a wound or a fever. It builds up in an almost invisible way. And before you even realize it, it is already there in every short breath, in every restless night, in that heaviness in the chest that seems to have no reason. And it is exactly this, constant stress, that directly harms circulation, testosterone production, and intimate response. Let me explain simply. When stress becomes part of your daily life, the body reacts by releasing cortisol, the stress hormone. The problem starts when this cortisol stays high all the time. What does it do? It disrupts the function of the blood vessels, blocks the natural production of nitric oxide, and reduces the body's ability to produce testosterone at ideal levels. In practice, this means that, even with better blood flow, if stress is high, the body cannot respond as it should. The desire may exist in the mind, but the body does not follow. This impact is not immediate, but it becomes more and more clear. That tiredness that does not go away, the difficulty to relax, the lack of energy even for the most intimate moments. And all this reinforces a feeling of failure that is not really yours. It is the system that is overloaded. That is why it is not enough to just improve circulation. You need to help the body come out of this constant state of alert. And what is interesting is that the simple act of chewing the clove helps with this too. The clove contains compounds like beta-caryophyllene, which help reduce the impact of cortisol on the body in a natural way. This does not mean it will remove stress from your life, but it means it can be an ally to help the body find the balance it needs to work with more harmony again. In the next step, we will see how to use this simple gesture in a practical way in your day, so that it really becomes part of a recovery process. Not as a quick promise, but as part of a new path for your health. Chewing 2 cloves for 60 seconds is a simple gesture, But what really makes the difference is making it part of your day in a natural and constant way. You do not need to change everything in your life to start. You can do it whenever you prefer. Before leaving the house, after brushing your teeth, as you get ready to sleep. The important thing is not the time of day. The important thing is consistency. This discrete act does not require any special preparation. It does not require you to change your diet or reorganize your routine. It is a choice that fits into your day as a reminder that your body deserves care. And when this practice becomes daily, the body starts to recognize the signal and respond, without rush, without pressure, because that is how the body works best, with consistency, not with extreme measures. By doing this every day, you give your body a chance to recover the rhythm that seemed lost. That minute dedicated to yourself strengthens your commitment to your own health. It is not a trick. It is not a quick formula. It is the beginning of a path that respects physiology and puts you back at the center of the process. When a man decides to adopt such a simple gesture as chewing 2 cloves for 60 seconds a day, he is doing more than activating circulation or supporting the natural production of testosterone. He is taking control of his own well-being. He stops waiting for external solutions and begins to act with what is within his reach. And this alone already brings results. Because real change starts with the decision to care for yourself every day in a practical way, without excuses and without complication. This discrete act symbolizes something greater. It is a reminder that small decisions, when made with consistency, are the ones that transform the most. It is not just about a physical benefit. It is about regaining trust in your own body, finding again that presence that makes a difference in your gaze, in your posture, in the way you live each relationship and each moment. It is the kind of change that you feel in your daily life, in the calm when you wake up, in the energy throughout the hours, in the confidence in intimate moments. No man needs to wait for something extraordinary to start taking care of himself. The extraordinary happens in the simple, in what can be done today, right now. And this step, so easy to include in your routine, is a symbol of that. A man who chooses to act this way is choosing to respect himself, to value himself, and to give his body the chance to respond with more strength, more balance, and more vitality. If this content made sense to you, subscribe to the channel right now and turn on notifications to receive new videos that can help even more on your journey of recovery and strength. And do not forget to like this video. This shows YouTube that this is an important topic and helps bring this message to other men who, like you, also deserve this opportunity for a fresh start.